So tonight, leftovers were for dinner, but I didn't want to not do some sort of cooking, so instead it's going to be a baking night. And on the agenda is some brownie hot fudge sundaes. So for tonight's project, we're really just using up more stuff for my pantry. And these ingredients are the ones that I like to call, oh darn, I guess I'm just gonna have to use this type of ingredients. So down here I have some sweetened condensed milk. Normally I use this when I make fudge, like confectionery fudge, but I'm not in the mood to do this at this point. So we're gonna instead make homemade hot fudge for the sundae, especially because I have a bunch of baking chocolate to use up that I don't see using for anything else anytime soon. I have a package of brownie mix, which really I'm just gonna follow the package directions. And over here I have my ice cream and my condiments. I have rainbow sprinkles. I also have a bunch of nonpareils and I have chocolate sprinkles, but rainbow sprinkles are simply because they are my boyfriend's favorite and he is coming over tonight. So stay tuned and we're gonna make some sauce together. The hot fudge recipe calls for 8 ounces of chocolate. So I have here 6 ounces, so that part is pretty easy and done. But I do have this mystery Godiva that we need to weigh out. I'm just gonna use my scale. It's tiered to 0 because of the plate that's on top. It's like I planned this. Here's my other 2 ounces. All right guys, so over here I have my chocolate ready to go. So keep in mind that chocolate has a pretty low melting point. So normally what I would do is use a double boiler. But in the case of this hot fudge sauce, I really don't need to because I'm gonna melt the butter and the condensed milk, which is all I really need for this, in the pan first. And then I'm gonna add the chocolate in the end. If you want this to melt faster because we're not using chocolate chips, you can chop it up, but I'm lazy and I don't wanna do a lot of dishes. Okay, right now I'm just melting a couple tablespoons of butter and I have the can of sweetened condensed milk in here. Once the butter is melted, I am just gonna throw in my chocolate. One other thing I'm gonna add in here is a pinch of salt, and I also think I'm gonna add a little bit of espresso powder. For the Ina Garten fans out there, Barefoot Contessa, she's absolutely right when she uses espresso powder in chocolate desserts. It really does help bring out the flavor of the chocolate. I'm not gonna use a lot, maybe like 1/4 teaspoon. By the way, here is my espresso powder because I didn't have it out earlier with my other ingredients. All right, guys, my espresso powder is in there, my butter is melted, and now I'm just gonna stir until all this chocolate is incorporated and melted into the sauce. And that's really all there is to it. I'm just gonna leave this on the stove until I'm ready to assemble the sundaes later on. It's obviously way more sauce than what I need for tonight's purposes. So this actually, let it cool, and it goes beautifully in a jar, and you can stick it in your fridge and take it out as needed. Warm up a little bit in the microwave, put a little bit on a pan, and you're good to go. One thing I didn't point out is when you're making something like this and you're being lazy like I am and using just one pan, I'm using my Scam Pan 4-quart saute pan, which is super durable nonstick cookware. Do yourself a favor and use something nonstick when you do this. This is ooey gooey, and in stainless steel or cast iron, you're gonna spend half the night cleaning the sauce off. Okay, you guys, everything's been mixed up and incorporated. I wish that it was way more complicated than what I just showed you, but it's really not, and a lot of these things are already in your pantry good to go, and you can make this pretty much at any time. So you may never buy jarred sauce again.